Oyanyo pinang nedsokanatan tayo pamari parinyo malumirama Uya babahangan nyo suminong ahay Uya babahangan nyo suminong uya sumibado pa'y tiyama matawan na Pinakapalot nyo sa mga yayami nakapalat nyo sa mga yayami Tamapanawo nyo ranawo sibado Yakmaye kapuro puro swarigahan Yak may kapuro puro suarigana pungso naman na yak may chinaripana Oyan nyo diyakwa na ipinanakaham Oyan nyo diyakwa na ipinanakam Tabak na kakainyo mga idoyiramata The
interesting thing about working with musicians who come from such different backgrounds is that you never know what music is, because each of them thinks of music as something entirely different. Having worked with this ensemble for so long now, almost 8 years, there's a real sense of becoming totally agnostic about quality and the particularities of music, and rather listening to music as something that really is a very differentiated but common undertaking of human beings. So where human beings communicate with each other in thousands of different languages, but in the end, through music, they can actually talk to each other.
With the video, I need more fantasy to make it interesting for the audience here, and also to make it reasonable for that moment in that role, with a combination with other musicians. The concept of Sandeep are like kind of special and different every time. It's because of the location. Especially this time, the room is not small, but the distance to the audience are quite near. I feel super special playing with many instruments, like staying in this exhibition. It feels me like many musicians surrounding me without playing. That's really inspired me.
Naja, ich komme vom Blues und kann mit seiner Art Gesang sehr viel anfangen. Es ist für mich eigentlich ein Blues-Gesang, also vom ersten Hören. Erst durch die Erklärung ist mir klarer geworden, dass es quasi im anderen Sinne gesungen ist, wie Bluessänger singen. Quasi eine Weitergabe von Wissen und eine Weitergabe von sozialen und kulturellen Praktiken als quasi ein Ausdruck eines Lebensgefühls. Aber mein erster Eindruck war, es ist ein bisschen trauriger, monotoner Gesang, der so eine Stimmung hat, sich sozusagen ein bisschen den Alltagssorgen ein bisschen von der Seele zu singen und vielleicht so ein bisschen in Trance zu kommen, weil es ja sehr wiederholend und sehr gleichmäßig ist.
I think it's about where you put your focus or awareness on. So indeed it's different if you play focus on the video or on the interaction with the other musicians. In my kind of way I'm prepared for this concert with my setup, it's a transition more than radical changes from one to the other moment, but I try to switch the focus from one card to the other and see how I can go there.
It amplifies your emotionality because you get into and because of the repetition, and it seems repetitive because I don't know the text, I only know the translations, but in this second where I'm hearing it, I don't know what he's talking, but he's not trying to reach out somebody to understand it, but just so much focused by himself and so much almost in a meditation that it touches deeply, and it's completely like a big impact and big influence on what you do and also what you musically sing.
The question I ask myself, how do I honor him the best in that moment? It is much easier to connect with the musicians here because they're in the space, especially if they are close to me. But at the same time, I try to get this connection to him, and it's really interesting. They have a very traditional way of approaching music, which I very much appreciate.
This translation process generates new music without having the stress of having to be original or having to be inventive as such. Your inventiveness is focused on being faithful, and that's an interesting paradoxon that I always liked in this ensemble. My theory of where music is going to is to go towards more sophisticated listening and responding. And so I've been trying that out in many contexts, many different contexts.
Senumina Yitarisa Yakumina Gata Vangelo Yakumina Gata Vangelo Ko Takawoyo Yung Natangaranam Dia Cita Doyin Boy Nupupta Cita doyin boy no peptana dukong amalap ya bisa paunga sumuyoy sungarap na baga-bagaan sumuyoy sungarap